Hello and welcome to AM Language with me, Richie, and this is another live lesson. So, welcome to today's lesson. I'm just going to share it. I'm just a couple of minutes late. Apologies about that. I hope everyone is doing well. In today's lesson, we are going to look at what a prefix is. Roberto, good afternoon. Prefixes, really good to know what they are. Really important to know what they are in English. And we're going to have a look at that today. Irina F. Privyet, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. I'm just going to share the lesson and then we can begin. As always, guys, please make sure that you follow us. When you follow the lesson, whether you're watching now or later, please make sure that you follow in the live chat section. That is where the action happens. Marek, welcome back to the channel. Lovely to see you here. Good afternoon and welcome to today's lesson. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to tell me in the live comments what your level is. It's always good for me to know what levels are watching. Alida, good afternoon and welcome to today's lesson. Thank you for joining. Buenos dias, as you are in Patagonia. Roberto says he's up intermediate. Excellent. Okay, so we have up intermediate watching. I'm sure we have some people of different levels as well. I'm sure we have some people who are intermediates and maybe pre-intermediate watching. Another thing as well, if you guys want to know more about how you can have lessons at AM Language, please make sure you click on the live. Well, you just got to click on the description below. Go to the link to the website and you can find out more information. Alida says that she is currently studying with Outcomes, upper intermediate. It's a good book, Outcomes. If you go back in history, Alida, you will find some YouTube lessons that I did back in March on various parts of Outcomes. Now, from next week, actually, speaking of outcomes, we're going to start, we've done a lot of grammar and vocabulary-based lessons. Next week, I am going to start doing more topic-based YouTube lessons, where we take a look at various topics that you can find in Outcomes, and we will talk about them. So that is something I'm going to start next week. Sandra says, hi, Richard. Good afternoon. You're welcome. Hello, Sandra. Welcome to today's lesson. Alida says, yes, that's why I found you. Oh, right. Fantastic. Interesting. Well, that's great to know. That's great to know that that's how you found, that's how you came across the channel. That's really important to know. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Roberta, Marek says she's pre-intermediate. And Roberta says, I'm studying in Michelle's classroom in Slima. You've got a great teacher. Michelle is a wonderful teacher. I'm sure you enjoy her lessons. And Evelina, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. I know that's okay. So we have up intermediate, we have pre-intermediate, we have elementary as well. And I'm sure there might be one or two intermediates watching as well. So guys, I'm just going to change my seating position. Marek says, I was studying in Malta at AM 4 years ago. Well, Marek, thank you very much for rejoining us. I hope, what level were you 4 years ago? And have you been able to use English since? Have you been able to use it when traveling or at work? Let me know. Okay, guys, so we're going to look at prefixes today, and prefixes are important to know, and it's quite simple in terms of knowing what they are. Okay, first of all, a prefix is some letters, okay, at the start of a word. And these letters can change the meaning of a word. Okay, so that's the first thing. And I'm going to start off by going with a simple example that can be a good example, actually. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay, it's something I used on the front on the thumbnail. So we've got this as a prefix. Okay, we've got Ben. Okay, Ben. And Ben, I'm guessing this is influenced by Latin because in Italian, I know that bene is good. And when we use ben at the start of a word, this means good. Okay, so then we've got a word like benefit. Okay, so that's how we get it. So we've got fit, as you can see, you've got fit, which is your main word. Um, and then you're just going to add, well, bene, really, benefit. But obviously, it's not phonetic. So we don't say benefit, it's benefit. Now, this sound of benefit, it's not an eh in the middle. It's what we would call a schwa. So we will have a little look at the pronunciation because we have to be careful of the syllable stress. So when we say it, it's benefit. Okay, benefit. So it's if we break it up, it's benefit. Okay, that's how it is. Benefit. The syllable stress is on the prefix b, ben, benefit. And you will, for those of you who know, benefit is a noun, and it can also be a verb as well. If we are using it as a noun, then it's obviously, we've got things like government benefit, for example, which is another way of saying government help. Okay? So this is what a prefix is. It's adding meaning, and it's really important to know how to use. Now, to give you another idea, we've got this one here, which is a very common one, and you will see a lot, which is dis. Okay, dis. Okay, so we've got dis, and now when you see a prefix of dis in English, I'm just going to turn on I need to charge my laptop. When you see the word, these three letters, dis, in English, you're going to, it means a lack of, not, or a part. It's always going to be negative. That's important, okay? So it's usually going to be a negative. And this is how you end up with a word like disadvantage. So we know the word advantage, and then we've got disadvantage. It should be said, actually, when we look at a word like this. Obviously, we know advantage is a positive, but disadvantage is a negative. You might want to know, okay, Richie, what about the syllable stress? Where does the syllable stress go? When we say disadvantage or advantage, the syllable stress does not change. Okay, it's always going to be on the vantage. So whether it's advantage or disadvantage, you've got the vantage. Okay, so disadvantage. That is the syllable stress. Vantage. Sorry, yes, vantage. And it's the same for the positive. So whether it's advantage or disadvantage, that's where the syllable stress is. So that's what we are talking about. Um, that's precisely what we're looking at here. When it comes to this sort of thing, prefixes. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to try and see how many words you guys can think of with these words, with these prefixes. So we're going to start off with the first one, okay? We're going to start off nice and easy. Let's see how you guys do, okay? So how many words can we go with? Let's just see what you guys already know. This. Okay, so how many words do you know in English that start off with this? Okay. Um, at this stage, I just want to see what you guys already know, and then we'll slowly change the activities. Okay, because there's some that can become a little bit confusing, and it's important to know what they are. Okay. Um, there are certain ones which we are definitely going to pay a very close attention to as well, because some can be a little bit confusing. Is it in? Is it un? For example. So we've got Sandra that has come out with disharmony. Great word. We've got discomfort, disequal, disagree, disconnect, disagree, disappoint. Okay, good, excellent. So we're familiar with the DIS. Okay, dis. What I would say, guys, I'm just going to add this into the lesson over here. So this is for you guys, and I'll include it afterwards as well. Okay, this is a good online dictionary. It's lexico.com. It is powered by Oxford University, I think, or Oxford Dictionary. Sorry, I should say Oxford Dictionary. So if you see either myself or other people today up writing words that you don't know, copy the word, click on this link, go to Lexico, um, put it in, and it can give you the English translation in terms of the English definition. And I do want to encourage you guys, when learning English, make sure you look at the English dictionary when trying to understand a word. There's a lot of time. It's because when you always go to your direct translator from Spanish, from German, for Italian, it's not always going to be 100% accurate because of context as well. And in this on this website, you have the option to look at synonyms and lots of examples. So they give you example sentences, which is really good. Dislike is a great one. Okay. So let's look at the next one, okay? And this one is probably a good one to know. Okay. We've got a few here that we're going to look at. You've got il, im, in, and ir, okay? Now, why am I sharing all of these at the same time? Quite simple, really. They tend to mean the following. Either into something, to something, not and against, okay? So you've got a lot of these, sometimes you've got some of these prefixes that all come together with similar meanings. So I'm going to start off with a good one here. Okay, let's look at in, because in is one that you will always see. So we've got this word inadequate, okay? You've got adequate, which is the same as saying it's good enough, okay? And then you've got inadequate, which is not good enough, okay? This is an adequate amount of money. This is an inadequate amount of money, okay? Adequate and inadequate. So this, if you don't know this word, this is a good word to know. When it comes to the syllable stress, you've got the syllable stress is on ad, okay? So it's inadequate, inadequate. And this is an adjective as well. So we're going to start off just with in, for example. Can you guys think of other words that you think have in for me? Can you think of other words that begin with in to mean not good enough? Let's see what you come up with. So Alida says incoherent, incorrect. Amarek, just don't forget incorrect. You have two R's in there. Tolerant, intolerant. That's a good one. Incompetent. Yep, that's a great one to know when it comes to incompetent. Whenever I think of incompetent, I think of certain people. Mainly the British Prime Minister. He is incompetent. Okay, so excellent, really good. Now, when it comes to in, there's just something I want to make sure you guys fully know. Sometimes there are some words whereby people might get a little bit confused between in and un. It's not uncommon. For this, it's important that when you do learn these words, these adjectives, for example, that we need to try and practice and add it to our vocabulary. Let's put it that way. So one example would be this. Like I said, in is to do when it's something is not, okay? And sometimes people might think, okay, what about a word like popular? Well, I have seen some people write in popular before, okay? But unpopular is not correct. It should be unpopular. So what I would say is, as you develop your language, yes, unexceptional. Yeah, that's what you've written. Yeah, unexceptional is a very good one. I will come on to un in just a moment, but I want to point it out that sometimes it's not uncommon for people to get confused between in and un. It does happen sometimes. For this, the best way to do it is that when you do come across the word, make sure you learn what the prefixes are for that word. It does help a lot. Okay. So we now have seen in. There's still a few other ones to look at. So let's look at IL now. Okay, IL. Now, if we look at something like IL, we've got a few ones. So you've got this one here, legitimate and illegitimate. Unreal, yeah, unreal is a good one for the un. We will come on to the un again, though, at some point. So, just in case you haven't seen this word before, the positive is legitimate. Okay, and when we talk about legitimate, what we mean is it is lawful. Okay, so illegitimate is something that's unlawful. Alida says illegal, and Marex has come out with illegal. Yeah, illegal is a good one as well. I would say that's probably, I imagine that's the most common one people go for, actually, illegal. Have you guys put double L? Yes, you have put double L. Great. Okay. Illicit. Yes, illicit is a good one, Roberto. Well done. Good stuff. Illicit. Okay. So we've now had a little look at ill. That's a good one to know. We've also got to look im. And now this actually, it's important to look at im because sometimes it's to do with pronunciation. When you hear a word, sometimes you think of im and in. Is it im or is it in, for example? So, for instance, we could have like possible and impossible, for example. So let me know if you know other ones. One that some people get confused between is this one here. And this can happen. And I just want to make this very clear. It's a pronunciation and spelling thing. You've got a word practical. The negative is impractical, but in is separate. And it's not impractical because sometimes people hear it and think, oh, is it impractical? I am. No, it is in. It's impractical, not impractical, but this is not together. They are two separate. It's a preposition in this case, in practical. So in case you're thinking of that one, please don't make that mistake. Alida says impatient. Yes, impatient is a really good one. Let's see if anyone else can come up with more examples of I am. So we've got impatient, for example. We've got impossible. I can think of one. Another one with IMP actually. IMP is a really common one actually. You got impractical. Why do they go why are they separate? I can't tell you the answer to that one, Alida. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why impractical it is separate. When I was a child, I always got confused with that one, and I made the mistake a lot, which is why I now remember not to do it. But I can't tell you the reason why. Leader says important. Yes, important is a really good one. There's so many ones with IM, but IMP is a really common sort of that happens a lot. We could even have, let's see, one that you guys have come out with. Well, you've come out with important, and you've come out with impatient as well, haven't you? Yeah, I mean, those are good ones. Let's go on to the IR. Okay, you've got regular and irregular, for example. So simply not normal in this case. Of course, you would know this from regular verbs and irregular verbs, for example. But let me know if you guys can think of other words beginning with IR. Sandra says improve. Yeah, improve is a good one. Sandra, I can see that you've added probably a German letter onto the end of that one, though. Yeah, irregular, regular is a good one. Let's see. Improve. Yeah, I'm seeing an interesting letter at the end of improve, Sandra, on my thing. It's like a big, interesting looking B. I'm guessing that's on your keyboard. Maybe you hit it by accident. Alida says irrelevant. Yes, irrelevant. Roberto says rational, irrational. Good. And it's important to know that when you go with the IR, usually it's the next letter after that is another R. It's going to be two R's in a row. Okay, let's look at this one before we get on to the miss. Miss is responsible, irresponsible. Good one, Roberto. Then we come on to miss. Now, I'm not going to tell you what miss means. I'm going to give you options and you guys can tell me. Does it mean A, correct, B, kind of, or C, wrong? If we use the prefix miss, do you think we're talking about something that is correct, kind of, or wrong? All of you are going for wrong, and that is correct. So without me giving you guys a word, can you guys tell me what words you can think of that begin with MIS? Miss. And there's some very useful language with miss, which I will put in. Misspelled, misunderstood. Yes, I'm glad you said misunderstood, because there's a very good way to tell someone. Sometimes you might hear someone misunderstand you. Let me ask you this: which one is better? Okay, which one is better? And when I say better, I mean more polite. Okay, is it A? I think you have misunderstood, or is it B? I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, and yeah, I think you're wrong. I didn't say that. Okay, which one do you think is better? I think you have misunderstood, or I think you're wrong. I didn't say that. A or B? Yeah, A. Misunderstand, misunderstood. These are that's polite language, and I encourage you to use that. Alida says mistake. Yeah, mistake. Absolutely. I mean, that's probably one of the first ones people will think of. Evelina, yes, you are correct. Good. Are there any others? I'm going to include this one, actually. Cool. My own one here. You've got misbehave. Great one, Alida. Another one, you've got fortunate, for example, meaning, okay, things have gone well. Can anyone tell me what's the negative of fortunate? So if fortunate is things have gone well, maybe the person has had a lot of success. Okay, we've got unfortunate, and there is another one because it's related to one of the things that we've looked at just now, actually. So yes, you could say unfortunate, but there's another one. There's at least two prefixes to this one, because you can say misfortunate. You can say misfortunate as well. You've got unfortunate and misfortunate. So it's important to note sometimes you will have words that you can use two different prefixes with. Now, what we could say here is, I mean, if you want to know what the difference is, it's it's the same as unfortunate. There is no difference between misfortunate and unfortunate. There is no difference between the two. They mean the exact same thing. Okay, let's move on a little bit to the next one, and I'll tell you what, we have looked at already a little bit, but what I would like you guys to do is this. When we look at miserable, great one. What does mean? Okay, what does mean? So we're now going to move on to because I've mentioned it already once. So what does mean? A, not. B, good. C, okay. What do you think means when we use good, yeah, it is, of course, not. So One that we have to be careful with, though, now, because we have looked at and I know that you guys can already tell me some things, but it's just because the next one I'm going to look at is the spelling is really close, but the meaning is different. Uni. So notice before we had now because of the I, we have uni. Now, let's go with an example, like universe. Okay, that would be one example. We could even go with, if it's to do with a school, you could go with uniform. When we go with universe, universe, uniform, the stress is not going to be on the prefix, it comes afterwards. So universe, uniform, and so on and so forth. Okay, the syllable stress is not on the uni bit. That comes afterwards. But my question, I'm going to write my question in for you guys so you guys can have a little think about what does uni actually mean. I just wanted to check something. Sorry, guys, I was wrong about something. The stress, syllable stress. It's on the uni, sorry. It's on the uni, not after uni. It is on the y bit. I told you the wrong thing just now. So it's always good just to double check these things. But for example, uniform is y. So the syllable stress is at the beginning. Uniform. Okay. So apologies, I got it the other way around. I want to make sure you guys do say these things correctly. It's the same with universe as well. The syllable stress is at the very beginning. Okay, so when you go with uni, stress the uni. Okay, such as universe. So what does uni mean? Let's have a think about that. What does uni mean? Does it mean A, 2, B, 1, 3, sorry, A, no, C, 3. Does uni mean 2, 3, or 1? What does uni mean? Okay, all of you have gone for B, which is 1. Yep, that's correct. Okay, guys, how many words do you know that begin with uni? Let me know. What words can you think of that begin with uni other than universe and uniform? Unicorn, good one. Good one, Sandra, unicorn. University, unique. Unilateral, good one. Okay, some really good words here. Excellent. Any others before we move on? Okay, I am going to move on to this one actually. Union, that's a good one. Okay, tell me, if I write this word, I'm going to give you another one. Can someone tell me what is the prefix of these words? What's the prefix of these two words? Can anyone tell me? What is the prefix of these two words? Over is correct. Okay, so what do you think over means? Okay, what does over mean. E, not enough. C, too much. Oh, sorry, B, too much. Overload is a good one, or overloaded. Well done, Sandra. What do you think? Is it A or B? Is it not enough, or is it B, too much? Yeah, it's too much. Now, over, just like some of these, just like in, it is a preposition on its own. But sometimes we put it together with another word and it becomes a prefix. Let's see. Can you go? Okay, right. You guys were already very quick, like overacting, overtake, oversee. Good. All of these are good. Are good examples. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pick. We're now getting to the sort of later on into the lesson here. I'm going to start choosing some things that are a little bit harder. This could be a good one to look at. Yeah, I think we should look at this one. Because I want to just slightly make this a little bit harder. Okay. So let's see how we go. Because before we looked at uni, so I'm going to go with, I'm just going to make this a little bit harder now. Just give me a moment to get everything into place. It might not be that difficult in the end for you, what I'm about to do, but it's certainly good to know. So we've got buy, quad, try. Just let's see what others you've. Okay, Roberto came out with overcraft, override, oversleep. Okay, yeah, these are all good ones. Now I've put out buy, quad, try. First one. Which one means A? Okay, A. Which one means two of something? B. Which one means three of something? Which one means, sorry, three of something? And C. Which one means four of something? And D. Can you give me an example for each? So you've got 4 questions here. So we're saying buy is 2, try is 3, quad is 4. Okay, so who here agrees with that? I mean, Roberto's given me the whole thing. Alida agrees that buy is 2, and Sandra as well. If you all agree that buy is 2, try is 3, quad is 4, okay, there we go. Sandra's coming with an example of bisexual. Yeah. Well, yeah, you got 2. Well, it's two in some way, I suppose. We need to be a bit careful in terms of our definition. But yes, it's usually 2 of something. Bipolar, yes, you've got 2. You can jump from one extreme to another. That's a good example. Okay, you've given me examples of bi. What about try and quad? Can you guys think of anything for bi and quad? Just to confirm, guys, that this is the correct answer here. That's what Roberto said, and it is the correct answer. So we've got bisexual, bipolar. We've got some examples, therefore, for the bi one. What about try and quad? Do you guys have anything for that? What others do you have? Okay, like Alexander, I like this one. Bilingual, speaking more than one language, really good one. Okay. Uh, sorry, I have something in my throat and it's not helpful. Okay, so now you guys have come out with one or two ideas here. So, Alida, you've come out with a trilogy. That's a good one. Obviously, a trilogy like three books, for example, like Lord of the Ring. Well, okay, Lord of the Rings was one book, but it was divided into a trilogy. You've got the trilogy. Well, a lot of movies are done these days as a trilogy. Uh, okay. Sandra says biologic. Yep. Okay, let's see the other one because now some of you have put up some beginning with the quad one. Yes, Marek, that's a good one. Trigonometry, that's a very good one. Always one that can be a little bit difficult to pronounce. Okay, so quadruped. It's a quadruped. Now, who said this actually? Alida, yes, quadruped. That's a good one indeed. Quadruped. Quadruped. We've got quadric. No, quadratic. Sorry, quadratic. I misread that. Sorry, Roberto. Quadratic. Quality. Does that come under quality? Yeah, no, we can't include quality, Sandra. It doesn't quite. We need the quad. We need the D in there. That's why. But very close. Yes, we've got quadratic from Roberto there. Okay, good. Well done, guys. So that quadrant. Oh, Marek, well done. Quadrant. Trident. That's a good one as well, Roberto. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And really well done, by the way, today. Some really good examples. Now, I'm going to share a site with you, and I'm going to share it as well in the link description below at the end. But I'm going to share it in the live chat as well. If you want to find out a little bit more about prefixes and you want to see some more examples, then click on this link here, and that will take you to a nice little, it's going to take you to a site called englishhints.com and a list of prefixes. So feel free to have a look at that, and that will help you to develop your vocabulary and for you to use prefixes. Sandra says, thanks a lot, Richard, and nice evening. You too, Sandra. Thank you very much. So, guys, I'll include those two links, the one of the dictionary and the one of prefixes, in the description below. Please make sure that you use them. They can be really helpful. Evelina says, see you soon. Thank you, Evelina. See you soon as well. Alida says, thanks. See you soon. Thank you, Alida. You too, Arena. Have a nice evening. And Marek, you too. To everybody who commented in the live chat today, and there were a lot of you, thank you to all of you. You really made the lesson what it was, which was a good lesson. Please make sure you like the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another live lesson. Just to remind you, tomorrow's lesson, I sometimes need to remind myself, tomorrow's lesson is going to be on Shakespeare idioms. So tomorrow, guys, is Shakespeare idioms. So if you want to know a bit of some Shakespeare idioms, then join me tomorrow for that at 3 o'clock. So, guys, to everyone who's commented in the live chat, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock with Shakespeare idioms. Have a good evening. Sandra says you changed the start 3 p.m. forever. I think what I'm going to do, Sandra, is I might start doing this in just in relation to when the clocks change. Because I know that not everybody has their clocks changed, and sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. So for now, for winter, let's say the lesson will be at 3 p.m. until there's a need to change it. So Yeah, for now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, certainly in for winter. So, oh, that's good. Excellent. I'm glad you're fine with that, Sandra. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. And thank you to everybody who participated in the lesson today. It was great. Thank you. Have a good evening.